Hello, my wonderful viewers, and welcome to another episode of Betty Adams Overanalyzes. Today we're going to be taking a fully spoilerly look at Chapter 79 of Kaiju number 8, and the absolute plot tease that Matsumoto is. This chapter shows that not only is Matsumoto aware of the speculations of his fans, but that he's perfectly willing to tease us about it. Okay, maybe I'm being a little hyperbolic there, but this chapter really did make me scream in frustration. In reality, what Matsumoto is probably doing is just establishing two possible outcomes for the story so that we experienced Shonen Jump readers can experience the delight of both confusion in the moment and surprise when the final revelation comes. A skilled author can absolutely build up two different possibilities, very different, each one being probable from the clues that we've seen, and then, no matter which one he chooses, he surprises us with the final reveal. Right now, in the story, there are, of course, a swarm of theories about the origin of the little kaiju that merged with Kafka. I call him Little Guy. However, going into this chapter, two of the biggest, most popular ones went thusly. Theory 1, based on the appearance of that ghost samurai kaiju at the shrine. We speculated that kaiju shifters like Kafka are nothing new, that back in the 16th or 17th century, one of the kaiju slayers that fought that massive fire kaiju was just like Kafka. This, of course, leading to either that kaiju taking a new host in Kafka, or the little guy kaiju being a descendant of the original samurai symbiote. Theory number 2. Kaiju number 9 was actively responsible for the Kaiju number 6 attack and absorbed Hikari Shinomiya after she fell, and the little guy is the result of some fragment of her will surviving and striving to still protect Kikoru and Isao through a proxy. Those were pretty much the two main theories going around. And in this chapter, Matsumoto provides strong evidence for not one of them, but both of them. The frustration! Anyway, I'm about to get into spoilers, so if you don't want to hear them, you can click away now. You can check out the links below the video to get yourself a copy of my book, Humans Are Weird, Let's Work It Out, Monty Python Meets Star Trek, and the short story collection of Human Absurdity. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Kobo by Rakuten. Now, to absolutely no one's surprise, this chapter continues the battle between Kikoru and Kaiju number 15. Just like last chapter, but even more so, the battle itself is not the point of this chapter. Instead, we are watching the cold-blooded calculations that the High Command is trying to make as they manage this all-out fight. In the highest point of command, we have Director General Baldy watching stoic-faced as his best friend's daughter gets pummeled by Kaiju number 15's brute force and lightning speed. Remember, Kikoru is his precious niece and everything but blood, and now he tragically has to treat her as a military asset. Then we are watching every moment of her suffering through the guilt-ridden eyes of Kurusu, that same screamy science guy who had to helplessly watch her father die when it was his job to prevent it. Then we get the plot twist that Matsumoto has been so carefully building towards. The main reason we didn't get a chance to see Kikoru's training arc. We knew that something was being hidden there, some surprise. And it turns out Kikoru has been seeing the ghosts of her mother while she wears the number 4 armor. We get a flashback not to them training, but to her confessing seeing this ghost to Narumi. Now, no matter who you are or what world you're in, it's not a good thing to see or hear things that other people can't. You are bound to be treated like a crazy person. So you can imagine what it cost Kikoru to confess to her superior officer that she was, as far as she knew, losing her mind. Telling Narumi that was an act of courage, a concession to duty on her part, and a fantastic sign of her trust in him. This is a great development of their relationship. Then we get to see her shock when Narumi not only believes her, not only doesn't turn her over to the psychiatry department, but tells her that seeing this ghost is a rare but known phenomenon in the Defense Force. Numbered weapons users have been known to see ghosts while using a weapon that had a previous user. And there you have it, a handy explanation for that ghost Kafka saw at the shrine. Clearly, Little Guy had a previous host from his armor dating back hundreds of years, and when Little Guy visited the grave of his old partner, he shared that memory of his partner with Kafka. With a sad sigh, I waved goodbye to the Hikari willpower theory of his origins. And then we get to see one of Kikoru's ghosts on screen. Because she wasn't just seeing one ghost, she was seeing two. This one is not of her mother, but of a very judgmental Kaiju number 4, sniffing at Kikoru for not being as strong and fast as his previous user. And lo and behold, speaking as an ecologist, somebody who has studied insect growth, Kaiju number 4 is element for element a full-grown version of Kaiju of Little Guy. Or rather, Little Guy, that tiny Kaiju that started all of this, is clearly a pre-metamorphosis instar form of Kaiju number 4. Kaiju number 4 has a long, segmented body, lancet-shaped wings up near his head, 4 little arms right below his head, orca-like teeth, a bone mask, and large eyes. All of these elements either show up on Little Guy or Kaiju number 8. Clearly, obviously, Hikari's last act of will was to use Kaiju number 9's powers to overwhelm Kaiju number 9 and create this little Kaiju number 4 based Kaiju with her will in it to seek out someone who would protect her daughter at all costs. Whew, so there you have it. 2 completely reasonable theories, both equally supported in this chapter. Oh, and then there was the battle. Of all the options available to us, it seems that our manga protagonist is going to dig deep and through grit and the instruction of her mother/mentor, fight the antagonist to a draw. Isn't that funny how Matsumoto did that? This is a battle chapter, and despite the battle being beautifully drawn, expertly staged, and profoundly important to our characters, it is simply background to the real drama of the chapter. Namely, what each character is suffering due to their self-imposed duty. Director Baldi is suffering because his sense of duty is forcing him to treat his precious niece as a military combat asset. Caruso is suffering because his sense of duty forces him to hold himself responsible for the death of Iso Shinomiya. Kikoru is suffering because her sense of duty is telling her that she, the rookie, should be matching the skill of a battle-hardened soldier right now. Also, she's getting the pulp pounded out of her, but that's very much an aside. So, what do you think, my wonderful viewers? Did Kafka see that ghost because the slayer who used to be the man is laying dead in the shrine and Little Guy's powers detected the corpse? Or was Little Guy remembering his previous host? Leave a comment below telling me what you think. Hit that like and subscribe button. And peace out, my wonderful viewers. Go check out the links below the video to get yourself a copy of my book, Humans Are Weird, We Took a Vote, available on Amazon and wherever books are sold.